What's going on? I'm gonna see if this done dried up a little bit. It might be still kind of damp. I don't hardly get to come out here much. Look like it's kind of dry just a little bit. Let me see right here. It's still kind of damp just a little bit, but not all the way quite. It's better though. It's a little warmer today than it was, to let you know it's getting closer back to the summertime. What I want to talk about is, since it then came to mind, have y'all ever been going now? I don't really like judging. I mean, unless judging somebody, I'm gonna show y'all the concept of what it means, what judging means when the Bible says, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteously." You know, I want to break that down and look out for that video, but I want to shorten it up, short term it right now. And I don't want to give that's what I named the video. I don't want to give I don't want to give people the benefit of I don't want to give our people the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to give our people the benefit of the doubt. Have you ever been giving out some literature trying to open up somebody's eyes? Now, this is not me trying to assume and make assumptions. I'm not trying to do that. It's just me. I'm still trying to learn, because when you come in contact with people, just like I don't know them and they don't know me neither. You're trying to get to know the individual person. But have you ever been trying to give out some literature to somebody, and when you go back in the next day and you ask them about the material? Now, I don't mean to pressure people, you know what I mean? Because I know it takes time, because it took time for me to get the information that I got. The person will, you give them some inheritance, some their history. And a lot of people say, well, I just haven't had time to actually do it because I've been working, and that's understandable. I get that. A lot of people work day in and day out, and it's hard to focus doing. You be so tired when you get home, you don't have time to do that. Some people, it's like that with some people. But I don't want to make a judgment and look stupid. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to make assumptions about it, because I really don't know what's going on with the person. Because at the end of the day, nobody's paying that person. Our women of color, nobody, men too. Nobody is not paying their bills. You see what I'm saying? So if they get down or whatever, ain't nobody gonna come and say, "Hey, look." So I'm with you on that, sister. I'm with you on that. I get it. You have to make a living, because it ain't nobody gonna take care of you like you would. You see what I'm saying? But let me say this here. When people say, just for the record, I'm not down in the person. I'm not down in nobody. But when they say, "Oh, I haven't had time," or whatever, or this and that and the third to get to it, or whatever, to me, it's an indication that I can't really judge that and say that this is what this person are. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm overboard with it. Maybe I'm just my imagination just running out of hand, and maybe I'm just taking it a little too far. And if I am, my bad, my apology for that. You see what I'm saying? But you know how you just think about certain things when some people tell you, "Oh well, I just haven't had time to get around to it," but I promise I'm gonna get around to it or whatever. Now I'm not judging the person, but sometimes, do you think in some instances some people can just respectfully, in a nice, calm way, declining you, or they saying, or do you think it's possible that they could be saying in their mind, "Man, look, they ain't coming out and be like, man, look, I ain't got time for no shit like that. I'm trying to work and make a living. This shit is in my way, blah blah, and so on and so forth." Do you think underneath they underneath the surface, deep down on the inside, that's what they thinking, but they just coming out sweet and they respectfully declining you in a sweet way? You know what I mean? To where, like, okay, I don't want to just come out and just say, "Don't bring me this fucking information. Don't bring me this goddamn information here. Fuck that shit," or this and that and the third. Now, they may not just come out and just up front. Of course, they ain't gonna say it. They got to put on an act to get rid of it. Do you think some people are doing that sometimes, in some cases, probably just to get rid of you, or do you think I'm going overboard with it? Put it in the comment section. Do you think I'm going overboard? Because sometimes I do know that we can. I have misjudged things and then had people wrong in the past. You see what I'm saying? Is it me thinking like that, or is it into something? This is gonna be an interesting topic. I think I'm gonna come back and talk about this later on today, because especially when people have been dumbed down with religion all their life, they thinking, "Oh, this ain't nothing but a shit bag of religion. I don't want to have." And I don't deal with religion. I just want to let people know that right now. I don't deal with religion, and I just wanted to just come and say, do you think I got a point, or do you think I'm judging wrong? I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to judge the individual person. I'm not trying to do that. The only thing that I'm sitting here doing is that, do you think that when people say, "Oh well, I just didn't get around to it. I didn't have time," although they are working, "I didn't have time for it," or do you think that sometimes people just got to program themselves and allow that it's to soak in or sink in or something like that? You see what I'm saying? Don't Do you think that some people just got to, because I know at some point I didn't take time to actually learn who I was until as soon as I heard that we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. I didn't think that I was. It just made me want to do some more research and search more. And I was still working, but I still came home and took out the time to learn, try to get into the Word and learn who I actually am in that Bible, because there's 18 nations in the Bible. I actually did that. So even I was still working. I worked at Popeyes for 5 years, but I was working part time, but I worked there for faithfully worked there for 5 years. I did it. I did everything except for cashier and working in the front. I didn't mess with that part. I worked in the back, and putting up stocks of stuff. I did everything under the sun you can think of except the cash register. But I did I've dedicated myself for 5 years. But I still came home and I took out the time and I did research on more about the Bible. I found out that the Bible was not a religious book. It's a history book for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives of America. Now that I'm getting the information, I'm passing the information on. But my question I was asking, do you think I may be taking it a little bit too far? You can put it in the comment section if you want to. If you ever get this video, put it in the comment section for me and tell me, look, Clarence, I think you are. Sometimes you got to give people time to come to the knowledge. Sometimes you they don't mean no harm by saying they didn't have time to actually get off into it. Do you think it's the way I'm taking it? I got offended over it. Sometimes it may be the way I'm taking it, and I don't want to like misjudge people. You know what I mean? Because my family done even told me sometimes you just have your dukes up too much, and you're not actually letting things giving it time to resolve in. You see what I'm saying? So you could be taking it a little bit too far, or do you think I'm too extra in the way I'm thinking, or is it just me, or is those things, or is it those things just popped up in my mind, or do you think that's just me thinking, just making it hard on myself, or are they just sometimes evil thoughts can creep up in your mind and have you thinking wicked and evil about this person don't have nothing to do with it, when in essence that's not what's going on with the person. Do you think that apostle on average percent, do you think that I'm misapprehending or judging this person? If I'm giving this person information and then they say, oh, I just haven't had much time to get around to it, this and that and the third, and look, I think it's teaching me something. I probably got it wrong. I think I might have, in my strongest opinion, I think I got it wrong. You see what I'm saying? I might have it wrong. Because I don't want to give, that's why I named the video, I don't want to give our people the benefit of the doubt. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to give our people the benefit of the doubt. So tell me what you think in the comment section. Give me your thoughts about this whole thing and tell me what you think. I'm going to go on the inside. Tell me, hopefully my camera don't go out. Okay. I want y'all, I might try leaving it open right there. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think I might be going a little bit too far? With the information? Hold on, wait a minute. I want to come around with it like that. Let me see. Do y'all think that it's a possibility that I'm taking it too far? No, I can't. Some don't seem like I can see my damn face. Let's do this here real quick. Okay, I think I might can see. Yeah. Do y'all think I'm taking it a little bit too far, or do you think I might have a point in what I'm saying, or what? What are y'all thoughts about that kind of situation? Like, if you give somebody some information, and a lot of times I know that the enemy can put thoughts in our head too as well. Sometimes we do have strong discernments when it comes to, black people, so-called people of color, black people. We are born with a natural spiritual discernment, a spiritual, like we are born with the natural ability to be able to give real good, strong judgment about things, in our mind. But do you think that I could be taking it too far, or do you think that, like, if I go and give somebody some history and say this is not your Hebrew, this is your Hebrew inheritance. You are a Israelite according to the Bible. You are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Bible. You're a so-called black woman. You are out the tribe of Judah and things of that nature. And then you tell the person that, and then like, now what really sparked me is to keep on going for the sister and giving the sister information and stuff like that. It's because I saw, if I see and get your, like, right off the bat that you got an open mind, then I'm knowing it's a possibility that your spirit bear witness with the curses in Deuteronomy 28. And this is what I was actually going into. So when you get people their history and you tell them, you wonder why they're single, you wonder why they're our people are single, you wonder why we fighting against each other and all that, and you say, well, you know what, according to the Bible, God put these curses on Israel because Israel did not keep the commandments of God. And the person be like, let's say, if I'm saying that to somebody, and they be like, oh, I didn't know that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Right there, as soon as you say that, I'm knowing right off the bat within a couple of seconds, just saying that, and you responded like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I want to know more about it. That tells me that your spirit is identifying, your spirit is bearing witness with it. You see what I'm saying? And that's showing me that it's also a sign, it's telling me that you're willing to listen. You have an open mind. It also let me know that you know truth when you hear it. You know when it makes sense, and that that really lines up with what that makes sense. That how you hear something and like nah, something ain't adding up about that. But when you hear something and it's like, man, that really adds up. Like if I say something like, well, I'm not about religion. The Bible is not a religious book. The Bible is a history book. Religion is something to keep you enslaved, to keep you from knowing who you are. Religion means you don't have the ability to be able to think for yourself, but you are controlled is to be a statue to this entity. Whatever it does or whatever it say, you believe in it. You can't. You are restricted, and you can't really question this. Religion means you can't question it. You got to go along with it just because they say it's right. That's what it means. And I let people know I'm not with that. I'm not with religion. The Bible, if you look at the Bible has nothing to do with religion. And it seems like I might be kind of getting off the topic a little bit. But what I'm trying to say, let me make sure I reiterate what I'm saying. If I'm going and giving somebody this information, right? If I'm going and giving somebody this information, I'm saying, hey, you are the possibility, you are the real Israelites that the Bible speaks of. But the other nations outside of Israel represent the enemy to God's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel. And they might, that really makes sense. To me, that's telling me that you have an open mind and you have the ability to be able to reason and think for yourself and think and be like, well, okay, instead of me like sitting up here trying to argue it, let me just go and look this stuff up and see what's going on here. Let me look more into that because that makes sense to me. Let me just thank you for giving me the information. I'm gonna try to look more into this because I never heard it said like this. Have you ever been hearing something your whole life and you came to one thing and you be like, damn, I ain't never heard nothing like I heard the Bible preach, but I never really heard it being spoken like that. So you struck a nerve when you say we're under the curses and you wonder why. That's why I didn't have a father in my life. Because I knew me and my brothers and sisters grew up. We didn't grow up with our fathers in our lives. Not constantly in our lives. My sister never met her father. You see what I'm saying? And then you'd be like, well, that's a curse according to Deuteronomy. And you'd be like, what is a curse? And you're like, well, a curse just simply means to be devoted to destruction. Destruction means death, a famine. You're going through, you don't even have money to even, you low on resources, just like we're low on resources. Like, so I can relate to that because I know what it feels like is to be low on resources. Low on resources mean you don't have money to be able to buy certain things like a car. You lack it in resources as transportation. You lack it in resources such as food. You lack it in resources such as wash and dryer, you lack it in resources such as you can't afford the resources of airplanes. You don't have the resources of a government. Your ancestors, your great grandfather didn't leave you a government business or nothing like that and passed on millions of dollars to you. When you think of poor resources, black people, most of us, we can relate to that because we never heard of our forefathers our great 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 grandfathers having nothing like that. I ain't never heard of my son left you a wheel. They left you millions of this and millions of acres of land and millions of business with thousands and millions and thousands. I mean, I'm just gonna say millions of dollars. And I'm like, I never heard of that. We don't know what that feels like. But white kids can come on the scene right now, and they can go back 4, 5, 6 generations of their families passing these things. The grandpa died, and they can ask, what happened to my grandpa? He died. He got killed in a car accident, or he got killed in a boat, or whatever. But he left y'all this will here before he went on a boat, this and that and the third, and then they can go on and start a business, and they're richest people probably within about 2 months. But see, black people, we don't know anything about that. So that's why I say when we come up, we done experienced that. You see what I'm saying? So when the sister come at it like, I haven't had much time to get off into it. Do you think I'm misjudging? Do you think I'm misjudging by saying, well, I don't know, they might be just turning me off, turning me down in a nice way.
they might be saying, man, I don't have nothing to do with that shit with this nigga talking about. This nigga bringing some religion on. I don't want to. He's trying to get me hooked up in a religion. Do you think that's just me thinking that, or they, I could have a point or whatever? Because some people, some women are like this here. A lot of they are respectfully decline you. Now, I could be wrong. Correct me in the comment section if you think I'm wrong. Whether you be my sister or my brother or my mother, if you get this video, if you ever get this video to my mother or to my brothers or any of y'all or anybody in my family, do you think that I got to do you think I'm misjudging this individual person, or do you think it's a possibility that I could have a point? Explain it and put it in the comment section. Just explain your point of view in your own way. What you think? What do y'all think? I want to get y'all's thoughts on that. You see what I'm saying? Just give me y'all thoughts on it. Or if you come up with a true thought, just whatever you come up with, just put it in the comment section. Whatever you want to tell me, don't hold nothing back. Be straight honest with me. Do you think I may have a point? Or do you all have you all, any of you all as my people of color, have y'all ever been in that situation to where you was just, let's say, giving somebody some information and you wanted them to have that information? You was coming and then you've been coming for a month, and then you finally you get to the point, the person gets to the point and say, well, I just haven't had much time to check that out or whatever. Do you think I'm going too fast, or do you think that relax, man? You got to be patient with them. Do you think it's impatient with me thinking like that when they come out? Oh, I'm busy and I have not gotten around to it. Or do you think that, because sometimes that can happen now. It can happen. Sometimes we can be so caught up and we're not used to practicing things like that, because when you're not used to hearing things a certain way, of course certain things is not gonna happen overnight. And I do understand that. Some things ain't gonna happen overnight. Do you think the person just respectfully declining me? Like they saying, I don't want to get off of that. I'm just going to be nice and sweet to him and just slowly decline it, slowly refuses. I'm gonna refuse it, but I'm going to do it in a different way. I'm going to be so sweet about it. And you can actually pick it up. Like, it's a possibility they might be just trying to be, they don't want to hurt. They don't want to hurt what they call hurt my feelings and stuff. Like, I don't want to hurt the feelings, but I just slowly just say, well, nah, I'm not really, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just haven't had much time enough to get to it, but I'm going to get to it. That's their way of saying, look, I'm not fucking with that shit. I'm slowly declining. I hope you don't come back in here no more. Deep down on the inside of their heart, that's what they might be thinking. Now, you tell me, do I have it wrong for thinking like that? Or do you think I may have a point? I don't mind your comments. I don't mind whatever. Your comments are welcome. As my people of color, y'all welcome to bring your comments. Tell me what y'all think on this situation. Because I don't want to, if I'm wrong about it, then I'll go back and I'll be like, you know what, my bad. I'm sorry for thinking like that. Because I'm willing to own up to my error. I'm willing to own up to my error, my mistakes, or whatever. That's what an error means, a mistake. If I got it wrong, I'm willing to apologize for my misjudgment or giving a misjudgment about somebody. Because I don't like doing that. That's a dangerous thing, and that's totally out of line. It's to just assume on somebody. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that type of person doing that or whatever. So just give me y'all thoughts in the comment section and tell me what y'all think about it. Do y'all think I'm overreacting when somebody comes up and they say things like, well, I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand me, so maybe y'all can address it, know how to give me a good comment, or maybe you'll know how to address my statement, my question that I'm looking for. Because if you don't know how to address the statement that I'm looking for, then you can be like, well, what do you mean by that? What are you saying? Can you be more specific in what you're saying? I don't want to give the wrong information. I don't want to. I'm trying to make sure I understand where you're coming from so I can answer it correctly. Okay. Especially if you've been going and you've been giving this person information for maybe a month. I'm gonna just say a month or two, a month and a half, and you finally come. They get used to you coming. Like,
oh well, I haven't had much time to get around. At the first couple of times they don't say that, but the next time like, well, I haven't gotten around to it. Either in your mind, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they're not really taking it seriously, or they probably haven't gotten the time like they needed to, or they probably ain't never put their mind to it, because, or either that's something that they got to grow into. Because certain things you ain't just gonna just come to the knowledge of it over. It's not just gonna happen all at once. It takes time. So, do I have it right or do I have it wrong, or you can say, well, Clarence, sometimes you got to give people time. And if you say that, I'd be like, well, you know what? I'll take the word for it, because, oh yes, you are misjudging. I'm like, okay. But just give me y'all thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? Or do you think, once more, do you think that the person is respectfully declining me in a genuine manner? Do you think that the person could be declining your information because they don't fully understand what you're saying? They act like it and go along with you and be like, respectfully turn you down in a nice way. Do you think that that's the whole point? Do you think some people, it's possible that a lot of people just sometimes, either tell me if you did it before and tell me what you think. You might be the one, you may be watching this video right now and you may be did it yourself. You may be guilty of telling somebody, well, I haven't had much time or whatever. Give me your experience behind it. Do you think that you yourself be respectfully declining the person and you're actually telling them, but you're not just coming out and saying, I don't want to be bothered, I don't want none of this information. You just saying it in a sweet manner, like, how can I turn this person down without hurting them or whatever, or how can I turn this person away? I need to say, I haven't gotten around to it, I'm working and this and that and the third, but at the same time they saying, well, you know, underneath the surface, I don't want to be bothered with this here, I don't want to tell them that, but that's it, underneath the surface, that's what I really want to, I'm saying that to myself. Get the hell up out of here with that shit, and I hope this nigga don't come back up here trying to give me no more information like that. But they said, instead of me saying it like that, well, even though that's really what I want to say, but by me being sweet and kind, I'm going to have to decline it and say it in a sweet, respectful way. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they do, because they don't want to look bad by just coming out and being honest with you. What do you, just give me y'all thoughts on that, and I'm out with this video. Peace and love to my people of color, and I'm out. Hold on a minute.